How much fear is too much fun? When thrill turns to terror, the line between entertainment and tragedy disappears. Some places are built to push the limits of fear, but what happens when they go too far? Today, we're diving into the world's scariest attractions, from death-defying drops to places where thrill seekers have come face to face with real danger. Are you brave enough to face them? Let's find out. Deadly waves at Action Park. The tidal wave pool at Action Park wasn't just thrilling, it was terrifying. Known for its massive waves, this pool was so dangerous that 12 lifeguards had to be on duty at all times. But even with their watchful eyes, lives were lost. At least 2 people drowned, and many others came close. Some visitors didn't even realize the danger, thinking the struggle to stay afloat was just part of the fun. Despite its deadly reputation, the pool stayed open until Action Park was eventually shut down and replaced by Mountain Creek. The pool's legacy is a chilling reminder of what happens when fun takes priority over safety. Without proper regulations, what seemed like an exciting ride became a real-life nightmare, leading to tragic and preventable deaths. Deadly Ride, the tragedy of Expoland. Expoland in Osaka, Japan, was once a thrilling amusement park filled with laughter and excitement. Families and thrill seekers came to enjoy its wild rides, including the famous Fujin Ring 2 roller coaster. But in 2007, everything changed. The coaster derailed in a horrific accident, killing a 19-year-old college student and injuring dozens of others. Investigators discovered the cause: shocking negligence. The ride's axles hadn't been replaced in over 15 years, and when they finally failed, disaster struck. The tragedy shattered Expoland's reputation, and visitors quickly disappeared. The park, once a place of joy, became a symbol of loss and failure. Just 2 years later, in 2009, Expoland shut down for good. What was once a lively attraction now stood abandoned. A haunting reminder of what happens when safety is ignored. Walking on air. China's glass bridges. Standing 715 feet above the valley, the East Taihan Glass Walk in China is not for the faint of heart. The moment your feet touch the glass, it feels like you're walking in midair, sending a rush of adrenaline through your body. But the real scare? The sound of glass cracking beneath you. Don't worry, it's just a special effect designed to make your heart race even faster. Still, with nothing but a terrifying drop below, even the bravest visitors feel their legs shake. Not far away, the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge takes things to the next level. Stretching an incredible 1,411 feet and hovering nearly 1,000 feet above the ground, it's the longest and tallest glass bridge in the world. Looking down through the transparent floor is enough to make anyone freeze in fear. To prove its strength, a 2-ton SUV was driven across it, and it didn't even crack. But no matter how strong it is, stepping onto this bridge feels like defying gravity itself. These glass bridges may be breathtaking, but they're also a true test of courage. The tragic end of the world's tallest water slide. At one time, the Verricht water slide in Kansas City was the biggest attraction at Schlitterbahn Water Park. It was the tallest water slide in the world, drawing thrill seekers eager for a heart-pounding drop. But in 2016, a horrifying accident changed everything. A 10-year-old boy, Caleb Schwab, lost his life when his raft went airborne due to a weight imbalance. The raft crashed into a pole, causing fatal injuries. Caleb was the son of Kansas politician Scott Schwab, making the tragedy even more heartbreaking. After the accident, the slide was permanently shut down and later demolished. The ride's designers were charged with second-degree murder, though the charges were eventually dropped. Despite this, Verricht became infamous, remembered as one of the darkest moments in amusement park history. The terrifying incident left a lasting mark, ensuring that no one would ever forget the dangers that came with the ride's thrilling design. Deadly Ride at Playland. The Mind Scrambler at Playland Park in New York was once a thrilling ride that spun visitors into a dizzying adventure. But behind the fun, tragedy struck twice. In 1998, a 7-year-old girl was thrown from the ride while trying to help others with their restraints. Then in 2001, Gabriella Guerin, a park employee, was also thrown off while assisting passengers, leading to her heartbreaking death. After these tragedies, Playland Park had no choice but to shut down the ride for good. The Mind Scrambler was dismantled, marking the end of an era. These incidents served as a chilling reminder of the importance of strict safety measures in amusement parks. Though the ride is gone, the memory of those lost still lingers. Deadly Drop, the tragic ride at Knott's Berry Farm. It was supposed to be a thrilling experience, a massive drop followed by a refreshing splash. When Perilous Plunge opened at Knott's Berry Farm in 2000, it promised excitement like no other. But in 2001, a horrifying tragedy struck. A woman slipped out of her restraints and fell to her death while riding the flume. The accident shocked visitors and raised serious concerns about the ride's safety. Despite this, the park didn't shut it down immediately, but the ride's reputation was forever damaged. Over the years, Perilous Plunge kept having technical problems, making it even more unsafe. The park tried fixing it, but the issues never stopped. By 2012, after years of concerns, the ride was finally shut down and torn apart. Although the 2001 accident was the only fatality, the constant safety risks made it clear that the ride couldn't continue. Its closure marked the end of a troubled chapter for Knott's Berry Farm. Deadly roller coasters of River Beach. Wooden roller coasters might look fun and old-fashioned, but if they're not taken care of, they can be deadly. At River Beach in Boston, the Derby Racer was a popular wooden coaster with a dark history. Over the years, 5 people were thrown from the ride in separate accidents, each one ending in tragedy. The park was shaken by the deaths, and the ride gained a terrifying reputation. Even though many loved it, that the Derby Racer was finally torn down in 1936 after the 5th fatal accident. But the danger didn't stop there. Another coaster at River Beach, called Lightning, only ran for 6 years before a fatal accident in 1933 forced it to close. Both rides became chilling reminders of what happens when amusement park rides aren't properly maintained. The tragic stories of Derby Racer and Lightning prove just how important it is to keep rides safe for everyone. The tragic fire of Sydney's Ghost Train. Luna Park in Sydney was meant to be a place of fun, but in 1979, it became the site of a heartbreaking disaster. The Ghost Train ride, designed to give people a spooky thrill, turned into a nightmare when a fire broke out inside. Trapped in the flames, 7 people lost their lives as the ride was completely destroyed. The tragedy shocked the entire country, and the once popular attraction was gone forever. Even after all these years, mystery still surrounds the fire's cause. Some believe it was an accident, while others suspect arson. Survivors and witnesses have demanded a proper investigation, with some even claiming corruption prevented the truth from coming out. To this day, the Sydney Ghost Train fire remains one of Luna Park's darkest moments, a chilling reminder that even the happiest places can hold terrible secrets. The roller coaster that vanishes. This roller coaster is not like the others. At Cosmo World in Japan, the Vanish roller coaster takes thrill to the next level. It's fast, wild, and filled with loops that make your heart race. The sharp turns and sudden drops feel impossible, as if the ride is breaking the laws of physics. But the real shock? Just when you think you've seen it all, the coaster dives straight into an underwater tunnel. For a split second, you're surrounded by darkness and water, making it feel like you've completely vanished. Then, in the blink of an eye, you shoot back into the light, your heart pounding from the adrenaline rush. It may not be the tallest or fastest ride, but that underwater plunge makes it one of the most thrilling and nerve-wracking roller coasters in the world. Terrifying glass elevator in China. Riding this elevator feels like stepping into a real-life nightmare. The Bailong elevator in China's Wulingyuan scenic area is the world's tallest outdoor elevator, standing an unbelievable 1,070 feet high. Made entirely of glass, it gives riders a heart-stopping view straight down as they ascend. The higher you go, the stronger the dizzying feeling gets. While the stunning valley views are breathtaking, the sheer height makes the ride both thrilling and terrifying at the same time. But here's what makes it even scarier. This area is known for earthquakes. While the elevator has advanced earthquake detectors for quick evacuations, the idea of soaring so high in an unstable zone is enough to make anyone nervous. And it doesn't help that it moves fast, reaching speeds of 12 miles per hour. The combination of height, speed, and the risk of tremors makes this elevator a true test of courage. Would you dare to ride it? China's most dangerous staircases. These mountain staircases in China are not for the faint-hearted. The Fei Mountain Staircase hangs on the edge of a steep cliff with no guardrails to keep you safe. One wrong step, and there's nothing between you and a terrifying drop. Walking on this narrow path feels like dancing with danger, making your heart race with every step. Then there's the Taihang Mountain Spiral Staircase, a 300-foot climb straight into the sky. It's not just physically exhausting, it's a mental battle against fear. The climb is so dangerous that people over 60 aren't even allowed to try it. The view at the top might be stunning, but is it really worth the risk? Would you dare to take the challenge? Terrifying climb of the Jiangkou Great Wall. This part of the Great Wall isn't just famous, it's downright dangerous. The Jiangkou section, about 45 miles north of Beijing, is one of the most treacherous parts of the wall. Its scariest challenge? The Heavenly Ladder, a set of 70 steep and uneven stone steps that climb a nearly 260-foot cliff. With no safety rails and crumbling edges, one wrong step could mean a deadly fall. The narrow path, with sheer drops on both sides, forces visitors to move carefully, their hearts pounding with every step. Many tourists hesitate before climbing, realizing just how risky it is. Each step feels like a life-or-death decision, and those afraid of heights might find themselves frozen in fear. The Jiangkou section isn't for the weak. It pushes you to your limits, testing both courage and balance. For some, it's an unforgettable adventure, but for others, it's a terrifying journey that can turn dangerous in an instant. The deadliest walk on Earth? Think you're brave? Try walking the plank walk on Mount Hua in China. This terrifying trail is one of the most dangerous hikes in the world. The scariest part? A narrow wooden plank, just 12 inches wide, is nailed to the side of a cliff, stretching 330 feet over a 7,000-foot drop. There's a safety harness, but looking down will make your heart race. With every step, you feel like you're gambling with your life. Thousands of thrill seekers attempt this walk every year, but around 100 don't make it back. The dizzying height and the constant fear of slipping turn this into a true test of courage. Every single step feels like a battle between fear and determination. Would you dare to take it? The wildest swing ride ever. This is not your normal swing, it's pure madness. The Giant Canyon Swing at Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park in Colorado is one of the most extreme rides in the world. Strapped in, you're launched straight toward a terrifying 1,300-foot drop into the canyon below. The rush of wind in your face, the heart-stopping weightlessness, it feels like you're flying straight into the abyss. Then comes the real thrill. The swing rockets up to 50 miles per hour in a near-vertical arc, making the ground vanish beneath you. Even the bravest adventurers grip their harnesses tight as they soar over the edge. It's a ride that pushes your fear of heights to the limit, but if you can handle it, the adrenaline rush is unforgettable. The scariest theme park in China. This theme park in China is not for the weak-hearted. Located in Chongqing, the Ordovician theme park has some of the most terrifying rides in the world. One ride launches visitors 1,000 feet into the sky on a giant swing before dropping them into a free fall over a deep valley. There's nothing but open air beneath you, making it feel like you're falling straight through the sky. But that's just the start. There's also a 500-foot gap bridge where you must jump from one platform to another. One wrong step, and it's a terrifying drop below. The scariest attraction of all? A bed hanging 1,000 feet in the air. Yes, you're strapped in for safety, but sleeping with nothing but the sky beneath you is enough to make anyone panic. Even the bravest thrill seekers would hesitate before climbing onto this floating bed, where every small movement reminds you that you're dangling above the world. Deadly wave pool disaster. Wave pools are supposed to be fun, right? They let you enjoy ocean-like waves in a safe and controlled way. But not all wave pools are harmless. At Summerland Water Park in Tokyo, people love the excitement of wild, crashing waves. But in 2019, things went horribly wrong at Shiyun Water Park in China. A massive rogue wave, much bigger than normal, suddenly crashed down, throwing swimmers into the air. Panic took over as 4 people got injured, and 5 had to be rushed to the hospital. What caused this terrifying wave? Some rumors said the operator was drunk, while officials blamed a power outage. Whatever the reason, this fun attraction turned into a nightmare within seconds. One moment, people were laughing and splashing. The next, they were fighting to stay afloat. This disaster was a chilling reminder that even a simple wave pool can become dangerous in an instant. The ultimate thrill, Kingda Ka and Zumanjaro. Kingda Ka at Six Flags Great Adventure is one of the scariest roller coasters ever built. It shoots riders straight up to a jaw-dropping height of 456 feet, making it the tallest coaster in the world. In just a few seconds, you go from 0 to 128 miles per hour, feeling like you're being launched into the sky. But the real shock comes when you suddenly drop back down, making your heart feel like it's about to leap out of your chest. Just when you think it can't get any crazier, there's Zumanjaro, Drop of Doom. Opened in 2014, this ride lifts you 415 feet in the air, higher than the Statue of Liberty, before dropping you straight down at 90 miles per hour. The fall feels endless, like you're free falling through the sky with nothing to stop you. It's a heart-racing, gravity-defying experience. So do you have the courage to take the plunge? The world's fastest roller coaster. Hold on tight. Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi is home to Formula Rossa, the fastest roller coaster on Earth. But this isn't just any coaster. It's a high-speed monster that uses fighter jet technology. In just 5 seconds, you'll blast from 0 to 149 miles per hour, feeling a force so strong, it's like 4.8 times your body weight pressing down on you. The ride lasts only 92 seconds, but in that time, you'll zoom through a 1.3-mile track at unbelievable speeds. The wind is so intense that you have to wear safety glasses to protect your eyes. The speed, the power, and the thrill make Formula Rossa an experience like no other. If you've ever wanted to feel what it's like to drive a Ferrari at top speed, this is as close as it gets. It's not just a roller coaster. It's a full-speed adrenaline rush that will leave you breathless. Terrifying drop at the Strat. High above Las Vegas, the Strat Hotel isn't just about the view. It's home to one of the scariest rides in the world. Sitting 900 feet above the Strip, the Insanity Ride dares even the bravest to take a seat. This massive mechanical claw lifts riders over the edge of the hotel, leaving nothing but empty space below. And just when you think it can't get worse, the claw tilts downward at a steep 70-degree angle, making you feel like you're about to fall straight down. But the terror doesn't stop there. While dangling over the city, the ride starts spinning at 40 miles per hour, blurring the neon lights below. With only a lap bar holding you in place, there's nothing else to grab onto as you twist and turn in midair. It's a heart-pounding experience that makes even the toughest thrill-seekers rethink their choices. So, would you dare to ride, or would you keep your feet safely on the ground? Sleeping on the edge? Think vacations are all about relaxing? Not this one. The Sky Lodge Adventure Suite in Peru takes adventure to a whole new level. Literally, hanging 1,200 feet above the ground, this mountain retreat isn't just a place to sleep, it's a test of courage. To get there, you have to climb or zip line up the rocky cliffs to reach one of 3 clear pods bolted to the side of a mountain. Once inside, the breathtaking view stretches as far as the eye can see. But here's the scary part. There are no safety nets, no barriers, just you and the open air beneath your feet. Sitting inside a glass pod so high up can make even the bravest feel uneasy. One wrong move, and the drop is thousands of feet straight down. If you love heart-pounding thrills and incredible views, this is the trip of a lifetime. But if heights make your stomach turn, you might want to stay far, far away. The ride that plays with fear. High above the Las Vegas Strip, at a dizzying 866 feet, there's a ride that will test your courage like never before. X-Scream. This terrifying attraction sends a single open-top car racing along a track that stretches 68 feet over the edge of a hotel. At first, it looks like a simple ride, but once you're on it, the fear becomes real. The track tilts like a seesaw, launching the car 30 feet beyond the building before suddenly stopping. Just when you think it's over, the car speeds backward toward the edge again, making your heart race with every movement. The scariest part? The thought of the brakes failing as you dangle over the city with nothing but air below. But don't worry, strong magnets keep everything safe. Still, The feeling of being suspended so high with only a narrow track holding you up is enough to make anyone second-guess their choices. If you ever wondered how far you'd go for an extreme thrill, X-Scream is the ultimate test. The world's scariest water slide. This is no ordinary water slide. The Kilimanjaro water slide in Brazil is the tallest in the world, standing a jaw-dropping 164 feet high. To reach the top, riders must climb 234 steep steps, each one making their heart beat faster. But the real fear begins at the top. The slide has a terrifying 60-degree drop, launching riders down at 57 miles per hour, so fast it feels like you're falling through the air with nothing to stop you. Here's the scariest part. There are no restraints, no carts, nothing to hold on to. It's just you, the slide, and the feeling of free fall. The rush is so intense that 1/3 of people who climb up decide not to go down. The thought of losing control and that stomach-dropping sensation is enough to make anyone second-guess their decision. So, the big question is, would you dare to take the plunge? Ride into Godzilla's jaws. Ever wanted to fly straight into Godzilla's mouth? On Awaji Island in Japan, you can. The Godzilla Interception Operation ride at Nijigen no Mori Park lets you zipline through the air with a life-size Godzilla towering above you. The zipline stretches 531 feet long and hangs 49 feet above the ground. That's like flying over 3 Olympic-sized pools while dangling at the height of a 5-story building. The real thrill comes when you zipline straight into Godzilla's gaping mouth. As you get closer, its massive teeth rush towards you, making your heart pound. But don't worry, you'll glide safely past them. It's a mix of fear and excitement, making this one of Japan's most unforgettable rides. If you love thrills and giant monsters, this is an adventure you don't want to miss. Yukon Striker, the ultimate dive coaster. Hold on tight, this is not your average roller coaster. Canada's Wonderland is home to the Yukon Striker, the tallest dive coaster in the world, standing at a heart-pounding 223 feet. The ride starts with a slow and nerve-wracking climb to the top, making your heart race with every inch. Then you're left hanging at the edge, staring straight down a 90-degree drop. Just when you think you can't take it anymore, the coaster releases, sending you plummeting at 80 miles per hour, your stomach dropping right along with you. But the madness doesn't stop there. Yukon Striker isn't just about the drop, it's also the longest dive coaster ever, stretching an insane 3,625 feet. As if the speed and twists weren't enough, this beast throws you into a full 360-degree loop, something never seen before on a dive coaster. The mix of speed, height, and jaw-dropping turns makes this a ride you'll never forget. If you dare to take on the Yukon Striker, one thing is certain. You'll leave breathless and craving another round. Trapped with a monster, would you dare to face a killer crocodile up close? At Crocosaurus Cove in Darwin, Australia, thrill seekers step inside the cage of death, a thin, clear tube that's lowered into a tank filled with massive saltwater crocodiles. These prehistoric beasts can grow up to 23 feet long and weigh over 2,200 pounds. With jaws that can crush bones in seconds, they stare you down as they circle just inches away. Your heart pounds as you sink deeper into the water, locked in a deadly stare with a crocodile that could strike in the blink of an eye. Every second feels like an eternity as these powerful predators glide around you, their razor-sharp teeth just behind the glass. It's the ultimate test of courage, being face-to-face with one of the deadliest creatures on Earth. Thrill and fear, two sides of the same coin. But at what point does the ride stop being fun? Would you dare to visit these terrifying places? Or are some attractions just too extreme? Let me know in the comments, which of these scared you the most? And if you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more spine-chilling adventures.